My stepdaughter wore a wedding dress to my wedding and gave a speech declaring she'd always be the most important woman in her dad's life. I met Christopher when his daughter Melanie was 13. Her mother had died 3 years earlier from cancer, and Christopher had raised her alone since. He was upfront about Melanie being his priority, which I respected and admired. A man who loved his daughter that much would be a wonderful partner. I had no children of my own, worked as a pediatric nurse, thought I understood kids. Melanie seemed sweet at first, shy, still grieving her mother. I took things slow, didn't push for a relationship with her, just tried to be a friend. I'd bring her favorite snacks when I visited, helped with homework when she asked, gave her space when she needed it. Christopher was grateful I understood their dynamic. For 2 years, things seemed to improve. Melanie would actually talk to me about school, her friends, even ask my advice about boys. I helped her get ready for her first dance, taught her to drive when Christopher was too nervous. When Christopher proposed, she seemed genuinely happy, hugged me, said she was glad her dad had found someone. We included her in wedding planning, let her pick her own dress as maid of honor, asked her opinion on flowers and music. She chose a beautiful lavender dress that complemented my colors perfectly. The manipulation started 3 months before the wedding. Little comments about how her mom's ring was prettier than mine, stories about family traditions I'd be ruining by changing them. She started calling Christopher at work, crying about missing her mom, always right when we had wedding appointments. He'd cancel everything to comfort her. Then came the demands. She needed therapy, but only during our date nights. She suddenly developed anxiety about me moving in, so Christopher suggested we delay that until after the wedding. She wanted to go on our honeymoon because she'd never been to Hawaii and didn't want to be alone. Christopher actually considered it until I put my foot down. 2 weeks before the wedding, Melanie asked to see my dress. I showed her, excited to share the moment. She said it was beautiful, then asked if I'd seen hers for the reception. She'd gotten a second dress for dancing. She wanted it to be a surprise. The wedding day arrived. The ceremony was perfect. Melanie gave a beautiful reading about love and family. She smiled in all the photos, hugged me after we said our vows, whispered congratulations. I thought maybe I'd been wrong about the manipulation. Then came the reception entrance. The DJ announced the wedding party. Melanie walked in wearing a white ball gown. Not just any white dress, but an actual wedding dress with a train, veil, and tiara. The room went silent. She walked straight to the microphone before Christopher or I could react. I want to thank everyone for coming to celebrate our family, she started. I know some of you were worried when Dad started dating so soon after Mom died, but I want you to know that while I'm happy he's found companionship, nothing will change the fact that I'm the most important woman in his life. I've been with him through everything, and I'll be here long after anyone else. This dress represents my commitment to our father-daughter bond, which no marriage can break. She raised her champagne glass in a toast. Half the room awkwardly lifted their glasses. The other half stared in horror. Christopher stood frozen. His brother Anthony looked disgusted. My family was furious. That's when my nephew Blake, 22 and fearless, stood up. "That's beautiful, Melanie," he said loudly. "Really touching. But you forgot something." He walked over to the DJ booth, whispered something, then returned to his seat. The DJ announced it was time for a special dance, a surprise for the bride. He called Melanie to the dance floor. Before she could refuse, the music started. It was the children's song Daddy's Little Girl, but the preschool version, the one with the cartoon voices. Blake had given the DJ $20 to play it on repeat. He then announced loudly that everyone should watch Melanie's special dance, since she'd dressed up so beautifully for it. The room laughed. Melanie stood in the middle of the dance floor in her wedding dress as the baby song played. Christopher finally moved, walked onto the floor, but instead of dancing with her, he took the microphone. "Melanie, you're my daughter and I love you, but this behavior is unacceptable. You're 16, not 6. You've disrespected my wife and our marriage. We're leaving for our honeymoon tomorrow, and when we return, you'll be starting therapy twice a week to deal with your grief properly. If you can't respect my marriage, you can live with your Aunt Janet until you graduate." Melanie ran out crying. Christopher's sister followed her, but not to comfort her. Janet made her change into regular clothes and brought her back to apologize. The apology was sullen, forced, but it happened.